I'm from South Carolina. I moved out here, and they had me thinking Orange County was just the Holy Grail. Oh, you go to Orange County, they got that money in Orange County.
I'm from LA.
So, Brian gonna have to take a detour real quick, put me on game about to right, and then we'll get back on track. Don't lose your train of thought.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to the LA Rams, but
Why not? Whoa. Let's talk about this. Hold on. Sometimes you just gotta go with how you feel.
I am old enough to remember a time where it was weird to be on the internet.
My name is Travay Hatton.
This is Rob Palacio. This is gonna be a beautiful thing for sure.
Yeah, man.
If there's a question of my love, you got it. It don't belong to anyone but you. That's how we feeling coming down the wire to Rod and Jen's wedding.
Oh, man. I was trying to understand who he was serenading because I was like, I am not in the mood.
Oh, man. It's a good week. The air is good. Patriots won.
Hey.
Eagles won.
Hey.
So you got two happy podcasters today.
Man, I have no, I could complain because.
Why?
Because.
You spoil.
I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled. I am, bro. I am. Like, I'll take the W. Don't get me wrong. However, it's not the way.
It's not the Patriot way.
It's not the Patriot way. It just isn't.
Y'all hear this?
Our special teams is not on point. We missed too many tackles. We'll get it together. Year one, new coach. Year two, quarterback. We'll get it together.
Growing pains.
I'll accept it. We're not going to do nothing too crazy. We're going to make playoffs. We're going to scare a few people.
Almost 3 decades of dominance is just not good enough for you, huh?
I mean,
you just need more. Some people never had a decade of dominance. Some people never had a year of dominance.
The only time you're going to hear me quote Diddy, can't stop, won't stop.
Oh my God. Can't stop, won't stop is crazy.
That's crazy work. That's crazy work. But I mean that when it comes to football. I only mean that when it comes to football.
In other news, breaking news this week, I actually won money in my Pick'em League.
Did you?
I usually don't. I started out hot. My first time ever doing Pick'em, I had amazing success. I think it was just like beginner's luck. When you first start doing something.
Yeah.
You get those
easy W's.
Not easy, but I was doing like crazy picks. Like I think one time I picked like Chicago to beat Minnesota when Chicago really wasn't good and they beat them. It was like one of those picks. Like you got to find picks like a flip pick where this team gonna win, but they end up losing.
Okay.
Like those are the picks you got to win sometimes in order to win Pick'em. And that year I had like a lot of those.
Okay.
And so it was like, that was honestly the telltale and like me being successful.
Yeah.
But basically, bro, outside of that year, I've had no success. And like the same guy has won like the Pick'em League, like the big pot, like 3 years in a row. Oh yeah. So it's like, I mean, if you win, you win. If you don't, you out of there. I mean, and it's a big pot too, bro. You got to get in on it.
I've tried so many times to get into fantasy leagues and things like that. It just hasn't worked out for me. Like I just haven't found the time to really get into it like that. It takes a little bit, and I can never do anything just as like super chill.
Mm-hmm.
I always I got to be all in. You know what I mean? So I need to watch the injury report. I need to watch, trends and all kind of data. Like it would take up all my day if I were to do that because I'd want to be competitive.
Mm-hmm. You'd be studying the injury report.
I'd be studying the history between, I'd be like, okay, who we playing or who's this player playing next week? Right? What's his history against that team? You know what I mean?
I think there's a time and place for that. A lot of people do that. I just do mine based off of feel. So everything I do, when it comes to fantasy or pick 'em, I do off of the team's prior success. And I do based off how I feel going into that week.
Right.
Every week when I do my picks, it's all off of intuition.
I'd literally be looking like, okay, like let's say it's a cornerback and he's playing Russell Wilson. Historically, how does he do against Russell Wilson?
You would do that?
I would look back the last 10 years.
I might need to start doing
am I going to get a pick out of that guy or no? You know what I mean? Like,
and I feel like even now ESPN tells you some of those facts. Though.
Yeah, they do.
They give away a lot, but sometimes I get even more mad when I look into that stuff and they get it wrong, and I listen to them. Like I'd rather be wrong on my terms, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes I take the information because like they even give you like mock, like who you shouldn't pick in fantasy this week, who you shouldn't pick as a winner this week. They do all this stuff, and now they even have talk shows just for fantasy and for pick'em leagues and who's gonna win, who's gonna lose. They have all this stuff. I just don't trust it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just don't trust it.
I hear that. I mean, I would never use wholeheartedly anyone's information, but I'd look for the raw data. You know what I mean? Like I'd have to historically see that before I wager something. You know what I mean?
Even with a little history, would you like for rookies? Would you go back to like their college?
I probably wouldn't go back that far because college is not really as pertinent to like what happens in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying. How do you gauge a rookie quarterback against a?
You don't. At that time you're guessing, right? Because you have no data. Preseason don't count, right? So you have to kind of just let it be what it is. That's all you can do. You know what I mean? So
and that's why I feel like I get stuck with a lot of these picks.
Yeah.
Like
it's a true gamble.
Like, bro, you got to think this year. I forget how many freshmen. You got Cam Moore, Jaden Daniels on his second year. He might have the sophomore slump. You got JJ McCarthy is a starting quarterback for Vikings. Like, you got a lot of teams that only have like first, second year quarterbacks, bro, this year.
And we haven't been doing that actually lately. Like, we haven't been playing rookies. It's historically, like, you're lucky if you get on the field as a rookie.
Yes. The only people that have kept that mindset are the Patriots and the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
They're the Green Bay Packers and the Patriots are the only teams that have kept the framework of we're going to groom a quarterback, usher him up in the right way through a veteran, and then after that, he could start after 4 or 5 years. Jordan Love was the last one to do it for Green Bay, and look at him. Look at their success.
Sometimes you don't get that. Sometimes you don't get that opportunity. Sometimes you got to play what you got, right? That happens.
Yeah, but also that's front office stuff.
Yeah, whether someone gets hurt or like you just drafted incorrectly and you don't have a veteran in front of you, or the veteran you got ain't worth shit, and so the rookie ends up being better, right? So it just is what it is. Like I truly feel like Russell Wilson is going to end up sitting down. Like I don't even know why he out there,
bro. Did you see? So listen, this just goes to speak though. And I get where you're coming from. You said they're going to sit Russell Wilson down. But the man almost threw for 500 yards, bro. And his team lost. How can that be on him?
Did you see that critical interception he threw?
Bro, that's one play don't make a game.
That was the game deciding play.
Bro, that don't make a game, though. The man, through the defense, got to get some stop. First of all, nobody should be scoring 40.
And he's not doing that all season.
You don't think?
This is early NFL week 2.
I don't know. Russell Wilson, some of them throws.
When the last time Russell Wilson had a good year?
Well, last year he played for the Steelers.
When's the last time he had a good year?
Last year.
4, 5 years ago?
Last year was good.
Last year was not a good year.
Man, oh my God.
It's been a while.
He probably will get sad.
Do you remember Russell Wilson as a Bronco? No, you don't.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I do. You know why?
Why?
Because they try to sit that man after he made them have a winning year. That was a good year. When he played for Denver Broncos, he went out there and won like the last 4 games, and they had to sit him because they were trying to lose out for the first round pick. I do remember that. And you remember that too. Russell Wilson, a dog.
I don't remember him as a Bronco, bro.
He is a dog. Really it's because they sold him out. You just can't convince me that if you watch that, what the Broncos did to Russell Wilson, you was okay with it. If they didn't want to win, they shouldn't have picked him up. If they wanted to be losers, they wanted to be loser. Bo Nix ain't did nothing since they got him.
I just feel like if he was on his game, if he was Russell Wilson from early Seattle Seahawks days, maybe he wouldn't have forced their hand to sit him down.
I mean, he didn't win a Super Bowl though, so like I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but that's only. I mean, if that's the case, Tom Brady should be still playing, right? If that's the case, Tom Brady should play forever.
Tom Brady would like to play forever.
Everybody would like to play forever. I bet if you ask Jerry Rice, he want to still play.
But Jerry is the man, though. Like, of course, if Jerry wanted to play again, we want to see him play again because that's the greatest receiver of all time. We talking about Russell Wilson here. we talking about Russell and Tom Brady. We talking about GOAT. We can't compare the GOATs to Russell Wilson.
And that is the reason why Russell Wilson should be done.
Nah. Oh, wow.
Because he is not a GOAT.
I see what you did there. Regardless of a matter of fact, let's get on with the topic of discussion for today.
What is the topic? Because like you don't rushed on in here and you just was like, "Bro, I want to record before we get to the weekend."
Rod's getting married, as you all know.
For real? Damn.
He's getting married.
Who told you that?
And believe it or not, his bachelor party is coming up. And before we do that, before we enjoy the festivities, I wanted to just have a discussion about.
Wait, is this an intervention?
Yeah, intervention, whatever you want to call it. But just I almost said nuances. Ooh, don't want to say that.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not a good word. I want to talk about the ebb and flows of marriage.
Okay.
I
don't been married once.
And that's why this is a really great topic for us, because I just want to see, there's good and bad in every marriage, no matter what.
For sure.
And so, prior to us, moving forward and having a good time this weekend, I just want to open it up, and I can start with the phases, right? So we'll start from the beginning. So you meet someone, right? You guys hanging out, you getting to know each other. Like you said, you slowly start to ask each other the the
preliminary questions.
Like, what is your religion? What do you believe in? Who's your favorite sports team? What's your favorite color? And then the questions get more and more serious as the times go on. Okay.
Yep.
You figure out your non-negotiables.
Okay.
And then if it's right, you meet that person and you find out that you want to propose. Now,
wait, man, I feel like you don't.
No, I'm pausing here because I did. So,
okay.
Prior to you figuring out you want to propose.
Okay.
What that load and fate is and what it was for me, and I opened up to you, is just happiness.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it like this, but that happiness is almost blinding, because in that time frame in between dating and the proposal,
okay,
you see no wrong in that person, right or right.
I think I think there's rose-colored glasses for sure.
You know what I mean?
I think you may see them. The reason why I say that is because, if you're married, like for instance, you're on your first marriage, I hope to God you never have the hindsight that I have. And I hope you and Summer live a full life together.
Of course.
But having failed at it once, and I will take ownership for that, because I believe two sides have to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so, I can now look back and go, oh, these are the things I glossed over that I should have addressed. That was happening in the beginning, but I looked at it as what
they call red flags.
I looked at it as that's just a moment in time, or that person is having a moment, or, I don't know, you try to give people grace, and you try not to be so rigid because you like the person, where this was an indicator of an incompatibility, maybe. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, But that's hindsight. And like, you can't be perfect at that. You can't. Because sometimes that is a big part of marriage, is showing each other grace.
And as you should. I think grace is needed in every marriage. I think grace sometimes is the part where, before a divorce, and I'm skipping ahead a little bit, you find it hard to forgive each other, right? At what point do you say what he or she did was worse than what I did? You know what I mean? So This is what I'll say in that area. If you, and I'm opening up to you too, if you are dating someone,
okay,
and they do something and it catches your eye, it's a red flag no matter what. Now, I believe that there are levels to the severity of the situation. So going into a relationship, you should already have your non-negotiables, right?
Yeah.
Things you just flat out are not okay with your spouse believing in, you know what I mean, or supporting, right? So you take that and then you weigh it.
Yeah.
I think you should, as it's your happiness at the end of the day. You want to find your person, and it might take you a while to find your person, but they are out there. The world is very big, very vast. So I say this: when you get out there, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate right after I get through saying this, you gotta have some things that you just say no. That if you cannot not do that, like if you can't adjust, I don't think we'll be able to make it. And I think a lot of times when we're happy, those things come up, but how happy we are, that dopamine we get, outweighs what really is a red flag for us. But on the opposite side of that, right, on the other side of the spectrum, and this is going to sound like I'm contradicting myself.
Okay.
But you got to hear me on this. You got to be able to accept some of your partner's quote unquote flaws as well.
I think you need to be able to accept a lot of your partner's flaws.
But that's what I'm saying. But there's a gray area there. We done talked about gray area before in this podcast. There's something that's flaws, and there's something that's actually morally, constructively wrong for you with how you do things.
I mean, unless you about to walk around super perfect, which none of us are.
No.
You know what I mean?
100%.
I think.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. It's just, it's crazy because, I mean, it goes into so many layers. I'm playing what you said in my head, and I'm trying to figure out how to completely respond to that, because what I've learned in going into my second marriage, right? And my first marriage was 10 years long, 2 kids out of it and everything. What I've learned is, if you walk into a marriage, if you're not married, if you're dating someone and you're expecting things to be better because you got married, you're making a mistake. That's what I'll say. Like, you cannot depend on the title of marriage or another person to make you happy. You have to make you happy. You have to be able to provide a safe space and be able to share yourself, share some happiness, and give off happiness to your spouse. And they should be giving you back that same energy, but you cannot look for a source of happiness from that person. If you go into a marriage thinking someone else is going to make you happy, you're going to be very unhappy. Your happiness that's on you. That's really on you. It's not going to change your life to walk down the aisle and say, I do. That's going to keep you happy for like a month, probably. A couple of months. That whole idea of being married, wearing a white dress, wearing a tuxedo, having a party, that goes away. Right?
But don't skip
I'm looking forward to that day. That day is coming up for me.
But it's a high, though.
It's a high.
And that's what people get caught up in.
It's a drug. You're going to be on cloud 9. You're probably going to be on cloud 9 at the honeymoon. All these things. You're going to receive gifts. You're going to receive money from people. You're going to receive congratulations. You're going to have pictures. You're going to have video, all those things. Right. And then at the end of the day, one day you're going to wake up. It's just you and her. Life like normal.
One day tomorrow.
Right. Life like normal. Right. At some point, people are going to stop congratulating you. The pictures, you're not going to look at the pictures as much. And life is going to hit and you're going to go to work and that person's going to go to work. And then there's going to be bills to pay and whatever. And this is going to be a new norm for you. If not an already regular norm, because you're probably already living with that person in today's society. I already live with mine.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, you know.
They shacking up. Podcast. They shacking up podcast. They shacking up.
Right. Which I know that's not everybody's deal, but damn it, we did it.
Now that is raising the bar. That's funny.
You know, so you gotta have other things, right? I hope you got something else in your pocket besides all those fun things.
It's so mind blowing to me. Between the time frame of being engaged to a person
mm-hmm.
and saying I do, and then you got the life phase, you can go from this is my favorite human being in the world to I cannot stand this person's guts.
Right. How do you get there?
And we were just talking about this.
We were just talking about that. Yep.
And that's why I'm bringing up this conversation. And that's why I said, is it better or worse that you can see the red flags early on? Do you try to fight it out, like you said, and then you're what? You what? How much time that time is not infinite. Your time on this earth is a finite amount.
Okay, just like you said, if you already know that there are literally fundamental things that you and that person do not agree with. It's fundamental how life works. If you know, if you've already engaged in a relationship with someone who, let's say you're really Christian and you believe in Jesus Christ and that person does not, how is that going to work?
It's not going to work.
If you believe in, we can go down a list of different things. You could just go down a list of different things. If fundamentally you already don't agree on those things, then, and if no one is willing to come off that position, right? That means your relationship with that person is based on probably other things that will fade over time anyway, whether it's physical attributes or, some sort of infatuation or lust that you have for that person. All those things are fun things, right? We all have these things, but you got to realize that those aren't forever things, right? And if you think about it,
beauty ain't forever.
It's not. But if you think about it, like even in simple terms, if you meet somebody in your 20s, let's say you're mid 20s, let's say you're 25, you meet somebody. By the time you're 35, you a different human. By the time you're 45, you're a different human. Right? So if you can't grow together with that person, if you don't have those fundamental things that you believe in, and in that time, I haven't even accounted for like the world going crazy. Right? Not to put my business out there, and I respect that person's privacy, so I won't get into the weeds on it. But you know what I found out? I was really different from my ex when COVID hit. We just believed very different things.
Yeah.
That wasn't the catalyst for our breakup because we were already on that path. But I couldn't believe how different she was from what I was. And I'm not talking about right or wrong. I'm just talking about different.
How you handle business.
In approach.
Yeah.
Right? That taught me a lot. If
you don't mind me asking, when you met your ex, the similarities, did you ever do like a compare and contrast? Like as far as a scale?
Listen, man,
you know what I mean?
You can't do it all. You can't talk about it all, bro.
Yeah.
You can try, and you should try, I think.
I know exactly what
you
you're
try
saying.
to broach every conversation you could think of. And like, if you young and you ain't got no babies with this person, you better talk about everything. Do you believe in spankings? Does she not? Do you believe in, like, what is it? Like you going to put the child, You're gonna put the child in timeout. Do you not believe in that? If you see the other person put the child in timeout, are you gonna be like, "I don't do nothing"? Like, because if you're gonna fight about those things, you're gonna be up the creek. It's gonna be tough, right? If you don't believe, if you like, how does punishment work, and why do you punish? How do you punish? What's the lesson? What's the theory behind it?
Yeah.
Not just because you mad at the kid, right? What does it mean to both of you, right?
Well, wow. Yeah, no, you're right. Because mine's kind of happened on the fly.
Right. Most of us, it happens on the fly, bro. You end up pregnant. You end up, oh, this is a great thing. And then all of a sudden your kid's running around doing stuff and you like, how do we handle that? And then one of you does something and you like, yup, don't piss off your mama or your daddy. And then you're like, wait, you doing too much. And then you're going to talk about it then?
Yeah.
You're supposed to already be on the same.
No, 100%.
Right.
And thankfully, communication is huge with me and my wife. You know, I remember a time when I had to spank Zeke because, you know, I believe in spankings. And so I went to go spank him. And, you know, she, you know, everything chilled out and she was so sad and she wouldn't talk to me. And I was like, what's wrong with you? She was like, you did that, you know, when you were spanking him, it felt malicious.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I don't care about you whipping our kids, but it can't be malicious. It has to come from a place that's growing, nurturing. It has to, and if it's not coming from a place that's nurturing, and that's where she really helped me understand that I was repeating some things.
Right.
You know what I mean? That I saw.
Right.
That I experienced.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so going forward, you know, me and her just agreed. And Zeke's mom, you know, we all agree. Like,
right.
You know, if I am to give a spanking, I am to sit him down prior to the spanking, let him know that it's a correction, because that type of behavior doesn't work in society,
right?
And it's not going to work in his life,
right?
I'm not doing this because I dislike him. I'm actually spanking him because I love him,
right?
As crazy as that sounds,
right?
But he doesn't understand the barrier, right? He doesn't understand the difference in.
You can never. I don't care if it's. You cannot even have to put your hands on your kid if you're disciplining out of anger because you're angry as the parent. It's gonna come off wrong.
Yep.
Right. But some parents are okay with that. Like, I want my child to know I'm upset. Like, that's a small nugget of it. Like, yeah, I want my child to know I'm frustrated or I don't approve of their behavior, but my anger is not of top priority, right? What's of top priority is that my child understands they did something wrong that could be detrimental to them later.
So now that brings another question. Is having a kid, does that really change the dynamic of a marriage?
Of course.
Like that
of
much?
Of course. It changes the dynamic. You know this part. Like
180.
It changes the dynamic of even dating. If you walk into a relationship and you have a child, right? Whereas, let's say the other person doesn't. Like in my case, I talked to you about this, off mic. One of the things that it's interesting because when I met Jen, there was a few things. I wasn't going to drive a certain distance. I broke that rule. Also, I wouldn't date anyone who had children older than my child.
What you won't do.
And right. And her son, my stepson, is 4 years, 3.5 years older than my daughter. Right. So I broke all those rules for what I thought was the right person, but you were asking me earlier, about red flags and hindsight and,
is you breaking your rules a red flag to you?
No, because I believe that I did it for the right reasons.
Okay.
I believe I had preconceived notions of things that I wasn't comfortable with.
And going back
based on what I thought I was going to get, and this person was willing to address these things in her own way that made me comfortable.
But going back, did you feel the same way when you met your ex, if you don't mind me asking? You know what I mean? Like,
But that's hindsight, though. Like, you got to understand. like I met my ex when I was 25.
Different, like you said. You know, you're right.
I'm a different
We're going
human.
back. You were a different.
I'm a different human,
Yeah.
less experienced, right? Like,
yeah.
I always tell people. People ask me
From LA.
Yeah, well, people ask me like, do I regret my marriage to my ex? I don't.
Heck no.
I don't, for the simple fact that I don't think I'd be the human being I am today.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be prepared to marry my current fiance if it wasn't for that relationship.
Because I
had to learn. I had to go through that. That's my trials and tribulations. That's my cross to bear. Great things came out of that, such as my children.
It was really a great lesson.
It's a great lesson. Do I wish I could have done that some other way?
Of course not.
Yeah. No, I do. I do.
Okay.
I wish I could do that some other way. I wish in a happy world that it didn't have to go down the way it did, but it did. And I apparently I needed it. I hope to God my children needed it too. And something great come out of that for them.
It will.
You know what I mean?
It will.
So it's not supposed to be perfect. Like marriage, we have this, I don't know why we have this connotation. I don't know if it's the world of entertainment that got us thinking, you know, happy ever after is a real thing. Like
it ain't.
Like you go to war with your partner,
yeah.
You know, but like that doesn't mean you're going to agree, but you're on the same side, right? It's like anything else. You play sports, you have a friendship, whatever it is. It's every day ain't roses. A lot of the times you make each other happy. That should be the person that makes you the happiest ever, that understands you when you're not at your best. So my best moments with Jen is probably not even the times that we're having fun. My best moments with Jen is when I'm not at my best and she understands. You know what I'm saying? When I messed up and I deserve to be reprimanded for what I did, and she's like, I got you, get up. Don't stay in that place. Because that's what I remember.
And I'm gonna be real with you, that moment of relief, that moment of understanding is a moment that can really help you grow.
Who else has your back like that, bro? Besides your mama. Right? It's besides your dad. You know what I mean? Like, who else has your back like that?
And so we're moving along now, right? Because this is what I wanted to get to.
Well, I want to say one last thing, though, like before we move on.
No. We are moving. I'm saying we're moving along on this.
I understand. But like in conjunction with this, is I read something, and I don't know how true that is, but it's a really interesting quote. Like, you come into your life, and your parents, if they're decent people, that relationship is forced, right? Like, you're their child. They're going to automatically love you, typically, right? Your siblings, same thing. They wake up one morning and you in their life, right? And you wake up with these people in your life. Your children, they came from you. They didn't choose it. They love you automatically, right? Your partner met you and made a choice to love you.
Oh, yeah.
That has to say something.
I'm real with you, bro. More people need to think about it like that. More people need to think about it like
this person chose whatever baggage you have, whether you already had kids, whether you're not successful,
and I had kids.
Whatever flaws you have, they chose you and chose to continue to stay with you and build with you, and said, you are my person. Like, you need to wake up every day, and it's hard, and I fail at it too, and realize like that person made a choice for you, pro you.
Yeah, I heard it here. I mean, Rod dropping game on y'all right now. All right. So, when you looking back, think about your life. Think about how you viewed your parents. I hear people say it all the time. Oh yeah, mom and dad, that's your first love. The parents are the first love that kids see. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, view it as that. View it as, we chose this. We wanted to create this journey and enjoy it. That's why I believe the fight is the most important part of the marriage. And that's going to move us into this next topic. And it's a rough one because, a lot of people going to say, well, man, I couldn't fight no more. Me and her were just on such different pages. We didn't love each other, whatever. Mm-hmm. Well, Rod's sitting here telling you that he found his person and that they do disagree at times, but she still got his back and he still got her back. So let's talk about the fight, right? And what the fight looks like. Get married, the wedding bells ring, whether you do it at church. I did mine at the golf course. Beautiful. Do it in your parents' backyard, whatever. That's done. You come back from the honeymoon, might make a baby. Who knows? Whatever. Moving forward. You come home and someone has outstanding debt, right? Whether it be a school loan. Oh, wow. Okay. And the mortgage.
You didn't know that before y'all got married?
No, you did. But
okay.
You
now,
didn't know.
Now it's hitting home because now everything is together.
You didn't know that she was going to say, well, or he was going to say, well, let's work on this together. You never envision yourself splitting up your money. You never envision yourself paying 3-4 extra bills, right? Things that just come up. Now the mortgage hitting. Oh, no, don't forget. We never really decided who was going to cook. Let's just say you met a woman who y'all was hanging out.
It's always something.
That's what I'm saying.
It's always something. I think, for us, like we got a lot of that out the way early because we had to, right?
Older, more experienced. I'm talking about.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like we did all the kung fu that you got to do. Like
free game.
We did that early because we realized and that was a big thing because she had a life before me. She exited a marriage. I exited a marriage. Right. At that time, like I'll give away this, like I was still legally dealing with my divorce when we met. So that was the first thing we had to talk about on the table. You see what I'm saying? And I thought that was going to be uncomplicated because everything was already moving, and then there was a monkey wrench, right? We don't need to discuss what the monkey wrench was, but there was a monkey wrench, right? And at that point, I was willing to call it off and be like, look, this is too much. Like, you shouldn't have to like come into a situation like that. I understand. And she was like, what are you talking about? I've already chosen. Right. And so, but it's the same thing. Like there were things that, she had a child, right? That child has a father. That child has a life, right? There are choices that go along with that, right? And things that, and not in a bad way, but there are things, right? Like my stepson has a present father. I have to make room at my table for another man. I have to sit down and be like, yo, you are welcome in my house to parent your son, and I will help you.
Man, a lot of people can't do that.
You're the dad. However, he lives with me, and I will help you. But you have every right to walk into my home. Right? That wasn't easy, but that's a part of her baggage. Right? I could have been like, I don't want to deal with that.
And then how long does it take you to spiral? And but what comes with that is you chose to, and it is a choice. Let's keep in mind it is
right.
You have a right to choose, right? You have a voice. Everyone does. With that, you get to say, okay, I get that piece, but I also get someone who has my back.
Right. I mean,
what's the
I guess you could play the lottery and go see if you could find somebody with nothing going on in their life that's perfect and ready for you.
Come on, let's be real. Where?
Exactly. So I don't know. Like I could have approached life as, okay, I get this reset. I'm not quite yet 40 years old at the time. I could have said, yeah, I'm going to find somebody that's like early 30s who hasn't had kids yet, who seems to have nothing going on besides work and whatever, and try that and see if she has any judgment about me having all this baggage and see if she'll want a life with me or whatever. Or I could take someone and then the thing about that is that person would be going through everything for the first time. So maybe she doesn't understand when I have to have a heated exchange, and maybe not even a bad way, because you and I talked about this too, is sometimes when you have a disagreement with the mother of your child, about how to proceed with things, it's not because that person is a bad person. They have a difference of opinion and you're no longer together. So you have to have a heated exchange about what's okay for your mutual child coming from two households.
And it's work.
And that's work. Now, if you go find someone who has 0 children and hasn't dealt with children at a large capacity, you're just going to see that as drama. Good luck with that.
But and once again, to your point,
that person's out there though.
You resetting the whole cycle as well,
right?
Because if you end up having a baby with that person, say you have another child and that person's never had a child,
right?
Well, they can look at you and your, the mother of your child, father of your child situation, however they want.
Mm-hmm.
But until they have a child of their own, they can't see it through that lens,
right?
So that's another layer,
right? You leave room for all kinds of stuff, right? So the reason why I chose to give my situation a chance, because I was like, well, here's a person who's a mother, who understands the value of being a parent and what goes along with that, and having to navigate having another parent that doesn't live in the home with you. Right? So even though that still got hard at different points for both of us, for various reasons, we were willing to work on it together. And that made us stronger. You know what I mean? These are the things that I've learned to truly appreciate about my situation and how I appreciate Jen. Because these are choices she made. These are choices I made to be like, hey, I'm with you. I'm not about to duck out just because I don't have to deal with your son, quote unquote, or your baby daddy, quote unquote. I chose to be there. I chose to say, nope, let's figure this out. I got your back. Let's think about what's in the best interest. And you know what? Some of those conversations, whether it was me or her, had to tell each other, like, you're going about this incorrectly. You're causing the drama, actually. Like, those things have happened on both sides. Or this is how we're going to deal with this because this is our home. And we don't have to make it so dramatic if the parent wants to do something else. Right? There's so many different layers to it. It's not always about right or wrong. There's these areas of gray. Right?
Love those gray areas.
Yeah. But that's life though, bro.
Love those gray areas.
It's life.
And the gray areas where you can find the most trouble.
You can find the most trouble.
You can find the most trouble, or you can actually find a solution to your issue.
Right.
It's all gray areas.
Sometimes when it's gray, you realize there's really nothing to do.
Yeah, you just sitting there
let
like,
it be
okay.
gray.
You're like, okay,
let it be gray until it go one way.
Some people
ain't
okay with that. Some people ain't okay with that,
bro. Sometimes
y'all might be.
Sometimes there's nothing to do.
What you mean? Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Sometimes there's just nothing to do.
And sometimes you just say it is what it is.
You're like a choice has not been made. Why are you making choices?
And then what? But and moving along with that is just that I can see how, after a while of being with someone who came with baggage, after being with someone with baggage, you can eventually, like, people go through 2 or 3 marriages. Like, you ever met the type of person that's like, this is my 4th marriage. This is my 3rd marriage. You know what I mean? Like, I done did this because they done tried it and they like, you know what? I don't have to do this. Now you at the point where you like, I have a choice. And that's a dangerous place to be as well. Your choice, I think, is a dangerous place as well. If you find with having 3, 4 marriages, that's cool. This is just my opinion. But I'm saying, you always saying, I'm going to do what's right for me, can stop the war in the marriage as well. Can stop the war. You know what I mean? Like, you're not trying to move forward in what you have planned and what you want to do, and you lose your vision and that love that you have for that person. You lose that, what do we call it, in the premarital stages, right? When you engage, right? That dopamine, that high, that love. Mm-hmm. Once you done been through 2 marriages, 3 marriages, you like, all right, bro, I know what this look like, but what they gonna look like on the other side of this? And that energy right there, and I see a lot of it being, that I work in the bar industry,
right?
And I never judge anybody. Let's go ahead and put that out there.
We all have our
front.
journeys, and they're unique.
You feel me? Like I don't judge nobody, but what I'm saying is in my head, I'm like, ooh, you here with me and you telling me what you should be telling that person. And once again, to your point, it ain't always that easy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but what is your experience with tough conversation?
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Are you running from the conversation?
That's the problem. Most of us, when it goes south, when it's unrecoverable, when you stop talking. Hands down. That's when you know it's over. And each one of us knows it. I bet every relationship that you've ever had, platonic friend or not, you knew it was over the second you decided that person reached out to you or there was a conversation to be had and you said, fuck that.
Yeah, don't say fuck that. Don't say fuck. Don't.
The second you don't pick up the phone, the second you don't return the text, the second you decide what that person has to say is meaningless to you, you're like, fuck that. That's when you know it's over. That's when it went downhill. If you look at it, it's always that moment when you decided that person's opinion or what they have to say or their belief is no longer important and you will give it zero consideration. That's when you know it's over every single time. I can pinpoint that day for me in most of my relationships. So
really?
Yeah,
you can pinpoint the day.
I know that I can remember the date and the time when I made that decision with my ex-wife.
That's it.
Where it did not matter. It did not matter what she found out about me, what I had to say, what she thought, how she felt. I can pinpoint that day when I was like, it's a wrap and it's unrecoverable. It changes the whole dynamic. It spits in the face of everything you ever built with that person. It's almost unforgivable.
Okay, it gotta be a non-negotiable then. That's a non-negotiable. Boy.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah. I think, once you understand that, then you learn to not do that, or you learn to voice something
related to that
before you get to that point. And I think this is where Jen and I, based on how we are as people, and I know some people don't believe in that, but like we're both Tauruses. And we know there's a breaking point for us with relationships in general. There's a point where I go, I no longer like you. I no longer respect you. I no longer care about you.
No longer respect is crazy.
And whatever happens to you from this moment forward is on you. I will walk away. And it doesn't matter what kind of relationship we're talking about. Friends, whatever. Like you might as well, you're going to hate it because I will behave as, wow, you would act like I never met this person in my life before. I will turn my life off from you. You are no longer privileged to my life. That's how I am. That's how she is. So before we ever get to that part, we talk.
Let's just address it now.
Yeah, we refuse, and we've had our number of issues. And things, we've been together long enough that we've had bouts where we're like, I don't know if we're going to make it through today.
That's so real.
It's definitely been times where it's like, okay, let's break this down. If we ain't going to make it, what does this look like for us? How do we undo the scenario? Because we both going to have to walk away. And that gets us thinking about what we've accomplished together, what we've built together, and is this stupid ass argument worth untangling all that? Because that's what it's going to take to break up at this point. And is that what we really want?
Man, I ain't even gonna lie to you. Every time me and Summer get into it, I'm sitting there thinking, so listen, when me and Summer get into it, bro, and we're going back and forth, right? We had a disagreement and we both trying to get to a common ground. It never crosses my mind, never to be like, this is it. Like we get into a breaking point. The only thing that be going through my mind, and that's what I'm saying, it blows my mind. And that's why marriages really need to, and couples need to have tough conversations. You need to be fully transparent with your spouse, because it has never crossed my mind to say, if she say this or that, I'm through, or she got one more time and this is it. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Summer get into it, bro. And I'd be like, okay, what do we do? Like, how can we progress? How can we fix this situation? Never the negative side of it, if that makes sense. Like I'm coming at it from a stance of, I'm trying to fix. We got too much built up into this.
Right.
Number one. That's number one, first of all. I took vows before your family, my family, and God. So number two, we ain't no liars. You know what I mean? We love each other. And first of all, I know you got my back. So the issue that's at hand, and what I think a lot of people don't understand, Ra, the issue that's at hand is between me and you.
Right.
Right. So we're the only two people that can fix our issue. Nobody else. So regardless of any talking, and this is for every couple, every marriage, regardless of any talking that goes on between you and your friends, between you and your family, whoever you decide to confide in outside of me, whatever they're telling you, it doesn't matter, because the issue is between me and you. You get what I'm saying?
I think that you said a lot there. You definitely you said a lot. Like, I mean, there's a few things there. Like, one of the things that I definitely learned out of, my various relationships is that when it comes to you and that person that you're with, you got to remember that you're not married to all these other people. You married to that person. And a lot of times, if you're unloading and you're talking to that person, I'm not saying that you should never reach out to people you trust or whatever, but you got to be careful. You got to protect your marriage. Now, obviously, if things are not healthy and, there's a form of abuse or something, then you kind of maybe break those rules or whatever. But, in terms of, you have to protect your marriage, because those people that are with you, they by your side, they are automatically going to be on your side and look at your spouse with those rose colored glasses that you painted, right? So they're going to be salty, right? And they're going to gas you up a lot of times, even if they don't mean to, right? They're automatically going to be like, oh, for real, she putting you through that? Oh, man, you need to think about that, bro. You need to think about that, bro. Like,
and not that they even wrong for saying it.
Yeah, and they're not telling you need to leave your girl, but they'll put that in your head because you gave them some crazy information, and you're not telling them like, oh, I know I messed up, or I did this, I did that. So I always try to be careful when I give advice. You know what I mean? Like when my friend come to me and tell me this and that, I usually, start with some form of, well, what did you do? Or like, tell me about, you got to give me some deeper information, or like go talk to your woman.
Don't just give me your side.
Don't just give me your side, right? Like you got to go sit her down. You got to go talk to her, because chances are you talking to me, but you're not about to go talk to her, or vice versa, right? And that's when things get messy, when you don't talk to your spouse. So I really believe that you have to have that communication, and you have to protect your marriage, your relationship. And I think those are the types of things that young couples fail out really early, because you go talk to your best friend. Some people talk to their mom way too much. And like the mom is like damn near in the marriage. Like I dated a girl that was the situation. Like her mom was in my marriage.
I didn't know you married too.
I technically married two people, I guess. You know what I mean? Like that's happened, right? Or like, so I learned pretty early on to not do that on my side, because I have made those mistakes. I've said things that, not because I was trying to sully her name or nothing like that, but I felt like I needed to talk, right? I needed that, whatever. But I realized I needed to be careful what I was saying. And also understand
that's a dangerous place.
If I'm not prepared to go there, if I'm not prepared to leave, then stop talking reckless like I'm ready to leave just because I'm mad right now. Respect yourself, respect your union enough to know, like, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
I'm just in the mood, right? So I've just learned to like really not say nothing. If I need a moment, I go take a moment.
Man, that's a hard art too, though. Just being able, and I ain't gonna say it, silence yourself, but like being able to have the maturity
and the self-awareness that it's time for me to take a step back and get a breather. But I want to go back to what you said about, telling your best friends and telling your buddies and all these people. What you got to understand is, and these for all my people, my young couples, what y'all need to understand is when you tell somebody something and you're looking to be affirmed, right? You're not looking, you could be wrong, but if you can go tell somebody your side and they can affirm that you're right, then you will get a rush of feel good throughout your body, right? You'll start to feel your bad behavior, whether good or bad, is being reinforced.
I mean,
right?
just in general, though, if you think about it, and this is where it gets dangerous, like using the internet, right? Like going on now, people go on social media and they start venting to their friends in the chats and all that, or even sometimes just on the feed, right? They go, I'm having a really hard time, whatever. And everyone knows that's code for like, oh, you and your person is arguing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone comes to your aid. Oh my God. Blah, blah, it's going to be all right. Blah, 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 blah. All
That's
this
the
stuff.
worst thing.
But what you've done is you've created an echo chamber. So what do you think you're going to hear back? All the stuff, like, I like friends that oppress me. Like, I could tell you right now, I could start naming names, and you have met some of these people. If I say some really wild shit, they're going to press me. They're going to be like, is it really that bad? Get off the internet, call me, come to the house, or go talk to your woman. Like, I would get that response from at least 5 or 6 people in my circle. And those are the types of people I usually, fuck with tough, because like, I know they're not going to let me get out of line. I can't just go say wild shit. Like we all older. We all,
you all done been through some stuff.
We done been through it. You know what I mean? And I would do the same thing. If certain friends call me and they say certain things, I'm like, man, get your ass off the internet before I slap your ass.
Tighten up.
Yeah.
Tighten up.
Yeah. You come to the house. You know what I mean? Like, do we need to go get a beer? But I get it. Like, we all have our moment. And the thing that I've come to realize is, why you're so personally affected by your significant other is when you really do love somebody, it just hurts a little more. It hurts a little more because you care.
Well, bro, that's what I'm trying to say.
Like little things, you're going to get sensitive. Like, your wife could say something that really don't mean nothing to you if somebody else said, but if she said,
it hit different. And that's why you got to get out your feelings.
Right.
And you need to go off the facts.
Because she a person too. You know what I mean?
But you got to be an ambassador for your relationship, man. Yeah. The dude that Joel, shout out Pastor Joel, man, over at Oceans Church. He did me and Summer's premarital counseling. We went to him. He taught to us, man. He gave us so many gems. Say me and you talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that close to Jen.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me Jen ain't getting on your nerves. She always riding your back. She never give you any free time. All she do is aggravate you. Now, after you told me that, you went and made up with Jen. Y'all good. Everything is in the clear, but I don't know that. So you bring me back around Jen in good spirit.
Right.
But my spirit and what people are doing.
Like, oh, he always pressed my boy. She always pressed my boy. So
my spirit is saying why he got me out here with her.
Yeah.
And he knows she acting like that. So now for me, anything she do if we out, if she has too many drinks,
if she called one too many times,
if she getting on your nerves at any point.
Yeah.
Even if you in a good mood.
Yeah.
I'm like, she doing too much, bro.
Yeah.
Now I'm in your ear.
Yeah. And you're not going to say it like that. You're not even going to say it like that, but that's going to be the energy exchange. And then I'm going to take that home. And then and then that's why it's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to be careful of how you manage your relationship, even with other people.
Exactly. That's my hope. Do not be out here.
Yeah.
Negatively talking your relationship unless it's people you trust. I'm not saying don't confide in nobody. Because sometimes
confiding is very different than every time I'm upset, I'm running the business everywhere.
Talk that talk.
That's way different.
Talk that talk.
That's way different. Like there are times like you just wouldn't even know me and Jen ain't on best of terms just because like we don't handle it that way.
But y'all keep it in the house though.
We keep it in the house because it's It's going to get dealt with. This is not on make it. And that's the thing for us. You know, a lot of people, and there are red flags. Don't get me wrong. You know, if you didn't manage to have a successful relationship and, you know, this is your second, third attempt at a marriage, whatever the case may be, people may look at that and go, red flag, you don't know how to do relationships. Right?
But they don't know.
But the truth of the matter is, when you've had that much experience and you apply those lessons properly, you get to skip a lot of the bullshit. Like if you really are in a growth mindset,
in tune,
right,
with your surroundings.
Because what you also don't know is sometimes you go through experiences with relationships because that's the part of yourself you don't know. That's why you dated that person that didn't work out with, because a better version of you would have never dated that person. Like when I look back at my relationships, and I'm not here to slight nobody I've been with, but I couldn't move backwards. Like I think of those people, if those people are who they, I hope they're not, because this is like years ago, but like if those people are the same people they are when I left them, or even when I met them, never mind when I left them, not when I left them, when I met them. If they're those people, I still wouldn't date that person. Like I'm that different.
You know, I'm like,
you said
something just then.
I'm like, man, like, why did I talk to her? Oh, I was the only rationale is I was in a different place when I met this person. That doesn't make that person the bad person. That just makes us different. You see what I'm saying? But like, I had to learn through that. So by the time I get to Jen, the conversation's different. We talk about different things, the things that are important to us. The conversations that we had early on, week 1, week 2, week 8, is the type of stuff I didn't talk about until I was on year 3 with somebody else.
So you couldn't talk to Jen. You don't think you would have been ready to talk to Jen 12 years ago?
I wouldn't be able to date Jen at this capacity 5 years ago.
But I'm be real with you.
6 years ago.
I don't think Jen would have been able to talk to you.
I know that.
5 years. Like,
I know that.
I think
we had to both go through what we went through before each other to be where we at today.
Yep. 100%.
And for that, I wouldn't change nothing. And I went through a lot of shit. You know my story.
Oh yeah.
So like to be here today, you know, getting ready to get married, like I wouldn't change shit. I just wouldn't.
If there's a question of my heart. No, man, it's a unique thing, man. I think my whole thing is, you know, there's some good information, and I hope somebody get this, man.
I hope so.
I hope somebody get this, man, because marriage is a beautiful thing.
It is, but it's work.
It's
right?
work.
A lot of people, and maybe I said this earlier, you know, a lot of people think you get married and that means it's just happy time the rest of your life. You know, you done been in it long enough, even though, you know, you only been married a couple of years.
I'm a baby.
You done been with Summer long enough.
I know.
Right? Like, it's not. And that's not what a relationship is.
Bro, I dare say, some people gonna hate me for saying this, but your relationship changes, bro.
Yeah.
Like people are so naive to the point where they really think that you get with somebody and that person act the same and do the same
for the rest of your life.
For the rest of it. And bro, that is
what sense that make?
And like, bro,
you think your grandma it still act the same way she did when she was 20?
Listen, bro.
What sense that make?
The homies used to come to my homeboys used to come to me and say, man, she done changed, man. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be like, you know why? You know why she changed? Cause she trying to grow. You know who haven't changed? You. And that's why you upset. You want to keep doing the same thing and keep getting away with the same BS.
Right.
And she tired and vice versa. In any capacity.
I'm always looking at relationships, you know, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. How does that work?
You be just curious.
I'm curious like that.
Yeah,
I'm curious like that because I just always believe if someone's in front of you, like you can learn something. You know, I think that's like vitally important. And so, you know, whenever I see any couple and they having a good night, even if they having a bad night, I'm like, what's going on here? Especially in a restaurant setting. Like I done seen arguments in a restaurant setting.
Me too.
You know, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. They chose to handle it like that.
You know, you be curious. I be a little judgmental. I'm gonna be real with you.
Sure.
Because you got to be in a bad place to argue hard in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Let me say that. Bro, you are first of all, I don't even really like people up in me and Summer business like that. First off, for me to go out to a restaurant where me and her don't know nobody and her to be and huffing and puffing and me be squinting eyes, wrinkles on my forehead, up with random people, bro, it's a lot of stuff that I'm built up to that.
Right.
And I'm gonna be real with you. When I see people doing that, I usually say they bout at their breaking point.
Yeah.
That's what go through my head.
I mean, for me, I'm like, if that was the energy, if that was possible, like, I don't even think you should have been out that night. You know what I mean?
Who made the decision to go out?
Yeah. Like, I'm sure you wouldn't argue in moments before you got there. Some of y'all probably was, but like, you already know you're not in a good space. You know, ask for that check and leave and go home. Like, there's no raising voices in public. Like, that's wild. That's wild to me.
They was trying to run from the argument though.
Yeah. That's why they was trying to have a good time. Right? Probably. Right?
You can't run from the argument.
You got to fix it first. You got to that's the other thing. You can't be afraid to have the tough conversations. And those ain't fun, right? Somebody probably crying, somebody really upset, so, you know, and there are a couple of rules that became important to me when I said, okay, I'm gonna do a relationship again, is, you know, it's important to me that no matter how angry we get at each other, there will be no crazy name calling.
Zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance. Zero tolerance. I'm never finna call you I'm not gonna say you a bitch.
That name calling hurt.
Yeah. Like, because like, you know, you could say that and you could say I'm sorry, but I know damn well we both not about to forget it.
And I felt it.
You know what I mean? We not about to forget that got said. Oh, and you know how name calling go, it's always a one up. You say something, I say something worse. You say something worse, I'll say something worse.
That's a toxic game.
Then you get to a point where somebody says something that really hurt. Right? Happened right here the other night. You know, I heard one of my neighbors going at it. And
you know,
bro, no. I was asleep. It was midnight, bro.
Man,
you know what woke me up? The dude was so hurt that he was, and it's bad for us as men, right? The thing for us as men is you start when your raw emotion come out,
your pride gone.
But men sound violent when it's raw emotion. We sound pretty violent, right? The dude was crying, but it sounded like he was throwing hands, but he was just crying. You know what I mean? And he was coming down the stairs and he was, he was wailing, you know what I mean? And then
she cheated and
she yelling at him and she was like, I didn't want you anyway. It's like one of the things and I woke up, I was like, what the hell is going on?
She cheated.
And I look around and you know, he lost it, bro. Like he was just, and I guess here's the whole situation. The details ain't important, but like
they are.
He like to him, yes. But he was so broken in that moment, you know what I mean? And like you just got to be really careful of like how you handle yourself, right? And like that it's respected. You know what I mean? Like, like as women, it's normal that we see women, we see them crying. Oh, you upset, you crying, tears coming out your eye. Maybe you boo-hoo and I said something upsetting to you. But like us as men, if we get like that, it's a little crazy. But let's be honest, it happens.
Nah, for sure.
Right?
I ain't ashamed.
So
I'm a crier.
So you got to be able to. You got to be able to respect her, not kick her when she down or having an emotional thing she need to get off her chest, even if you ain't happy with her. Right? Like, don't make fun of her because she crying. Don't attack because she's crying. And you got to expect that she's not going to attack you.
But also don't go dormant when she crying either.
Yeah.
Don't go like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And just look at her.
Right.
Don't do that neither.
Right.
I know about that.
Yeah. Right. So you
do something.
You definitely got to make sure it's respect. At the end of the line, it's respect. And when you fight, people tend to lose respect. And that's what I see. That's the breakdown I see. It's the name calling. It's the trying to one up each other. And then then we got the audacity, we break up and we call each other back because you want that old thing back, right? At least for a moment. You know what I mean? You do things like that and it just gets messy. I hate messy shit. I don't do messy.
That old thing bad for one night though.
Yeah.
For some people, it really make you do something strange.
Yeah.
Bring you back.
It's a lot of decisions get made because don't nobody want to respect
nothing.
That emotional roller coaster. Like you got to talk it through, right? Then you just never get into certain places, right? Even if it take time. And that's the thing about, again, Jen being where she been, me being where I been, both being married before, we just take our time with it. And sometimes it doesn't look productive. And sometimes we got to shake each other because, we could really get into a point, like just our personality types, where we be like, oh, okay, we not talking? Okay, cool. I'm gonna go about my business. You go about your business. And then we get comfortable being by ourselves because we're very solitary people like that at times, right?
Yeah.
So we always go with a good faith thought that at some point we're gonna have to sit down. That's okay for a couple hours. I don't like to go 24 hours, but it's happened. You know what I mean? Embarrassingly enough, we've had times it's been a week,
That's some transparency.
And we still doing all the house stuff together, but there is no conversation. We in separate rooms and whatever.
Please.
But that's just, and then we look back and we go, that's stupid. Why it take us that long?
I'm gonna go ahead and give you mine. We don't do that. Me and mine.
It's so stupid, bro.
I'm cool with the solitary boy, but Summer, we talking that thing out tonight.
Yeah.
Like we not going to bed. It don't matter if we got to get up at 4 a.m. If we got an internal conflict in our marriage, we up. She not going to bed, and she not going to let me go to bed. We gonna walk around the house. If I try to get up, go to another room. If I try to go watch TV somewhere else, she going right in there with me, sitting right down beside me. I learned that early in my marriage. I say, you know what? If I got something I need to get off my chest, I'm letting you know early in the evening. I'm not talking about no serious stuff at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
We're going to work this out. I'm
glad y'all could do that. Cause that for sure don't work for everybody.
It ain't easy.
I could tell you right now, if that would be for me, and that's interesting because this is why I tell you I get curious. Because everybody's relationship style isn't the same.
Bro.
I know I know for a fact, if I were to do that with Jen, that'd be the quickest way to end our relationship.
Yeah?
Yeah. Once it get to a certain point, we gotta let each other breathe and just believe, have faith, we gonna come back.
Yeah.
There's a line, right? Like there's a couple of days. And like I said, we got to the point we know that at time we went, fucking, I don't know, a week, whatever it was, 2 weeks. Kind of not talking. We're like that. We can't do that. That's stupid. That's a line too far. We will not do that again. If it's going to be like that, we need to talk about, is this relationship right for us? That was the conversation we had. No, for real. Coming off that, that was our big one, right? Coming off that, we were like, okay, is that in us? Because the way we feel, if it's going to be like that, we need to reassess, is this relationship going to work? Because that's too much. That's a bridge too far.
We went too far with it.
We went too far. And we both agreed, neither one of us liked that. That wasn't okay. That put us both in a really bad space, and we agreed never to take that long. Take your moment.
Well, it's just not who you are.
That's not who we are, right? Debrief, do whatever you got to do. And then even as tough as it is, check in. Not even saying you got to have a conversation. Check in. You ready to talk? Yes, no?
Maybe so.
Right. Can we have this part of the conversation? Just this part?
No, that don't work.
It don't work.
That don't
but
work.
we try it. But we try it.
Don't try that.
But we try it, bro. We try it because it's
this part go to that part.
For us, it's better to try and show the effort because what that does, and I think and correct me if I'm wrong, what you and Summer are doing is I'm with you. I know you mad. I know I don't like you. You don't like you, but you cannot get away from me.
Yeah.
I'm with you. If you mad over there, I'm mad over there with you.
Yeah.
Right. And so for me and Jen, it's the check-in is I know you need your space. I know you can take care of yourself,
but I still love you.
I'm with you.
Yeah. No fact.
Even when I'm in the other room, I'm with you. You ain't going nowhere. You're on my radar. You know what I mean? It just looks a little different.
Yeah, you like, what's she doing? Why she going to the bathroom?
Yeah.
No, for sure. And, with that being said, I'm not just going to give the people, good relationship advice. And that's why it's so dope, me and you do this together, because you have so many life experiences. And I just want to give people information, right? Stuff that help. So say it didn't work out, right?
Mm-hmm.
In your marriage, in your relationship.
I've done that.
What advice do you have for individuals who are trying to pivot in today's dating circuit? After they've learned all they've learned, they try their best. They're emotional. They've reached their emotional limit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their mental has been shaken. They probably need to refine themselves again, right? You go through all that with somebody. I know for a fact you don't need to jump right back into the dating circuit, but what advice would you give to someone fresh out of a relationship, right? A messy relationship.
I mean, look, unless you married the devil incarnate, there's something about the dissolution of a marriage or relationship that you are accountable for. And until you fix that, you probably shouldn't get into another relationship. So there's no timeline, right? Like no matter what it is, you could say, well, she did, but he did. I don't give a fuck. There was something you did that participated in that. And you need to make sure, unless you want to date the same sort of person again, you fix that. You need to make sure you fix that part about you, or you going to attract that all over again. That's usually what happens, right? Like someone, dates somebody, they break up, they date the same caliber person. It's just a different face. Same caliber person. They usually end up having the same breakup issue. Oh, that person cheated on me. Last person cheated on me. Last person cheated on me. Right? That person don't come home. That person don't come home. It's like always the same shit over and over again. Different face. Because you ain't take your time. You ain't changed nothing about you, right? So like you need to sit down, take your time, figure out who you are, what you like, what did that last relationship teach you? After you done with the pain, you gotta get over the pain first, right? What we do as humans, we tend to not want to be alone because you're used to being with somebody, right? That was the hardest thing. That was the hardest thing about separating from a 10-year marriage, because I woke up one day
and it was empty
in my own bed,
empty,
and I didn't know who I was.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I woke up, went to the bathroom, brushed my teeth, sat on the bed, and I was like, what do I do now? Because usually at this point, I hear her voice and she's like, let's do this, let's do that, or whatever. Now she ain't here because I didn't want her here, right? What do I do now? What do I like? Now I don't have to worry about, what do you want to watch, honey? It's whatever I want to watch. What do I want to watch? Where do I want to go? Right? Like you got to rediscover yourself. And years done went by. So now it's 10 years. For me, it's 10 years. I'm a different person.
So let me ask you this though. Throughout your marriage, you still had your moments where you did your own thing though, right? It wasn't always like, and I'm just asking out of pure curiosity.
Yeah.
Like as far as in surface level, right? TV.
I think even if you have a healthy relationship, you'll find that unless you really purposefully do that, and I think Jen and I, that's the part that we working on now.
You got to have that. That's
I had it. I'm not going to say I didn't, but for the good of the family, especially, and I don't want to say especially as men, I can only speak from the man's side because I'm a man, but like you sacrifice for your family, your time, your effort, your energy, you sacrifice in such a way that always comes first. So you'll find that you just don't do things like you used to because you don't have enough time. Like the reason I don't play Xbox today, I've had a gaming system, since I'm telling my age now, since the Atari. You know what I'm saying? So I've always had one, and I always was playing video games. And then as I got older, I played less and less and less. Right now, not now, but like up to a couple years ago, I was down to buying, 2 to 3 games a year instead of like 10, 15. Right? I'd get me a basketball game, whatever 2K coming out. maybe a football game like a Madden, and then maybe something like Splinter Cell, right? I can't tell you the last time I bought a game. I don't have the time. That's the time that I do have. That's not how I want to spend it. I don't want to spend it on the Xbox. My Xbox right there behind the TV. I ain't turned that on in I don't know how many months. You know what I mean?
What's wrong with you?
I just don't.
What's wrong with you?
Because like my limited time, I want to go do other shit.
Yeah.
Right? So it's different when the kids ain't around. You're not a family man no more. Like it's different. You got to come up with all that time all over again. So to answer your question is you will find typically when you're in a family unit or you're married that you're sacrificing more of your time than you think. And when you get that back, because you're not liable to that person anymore, you have to, this is why people they get really selfish when they get out of a marriage because they realize, wait a minute, I've been doing all this stuff and I happily did it. That's not even the bad part of the relationship. I happily did it.
Some people are bitter.
Some people are, but well, that's for different reasons.
I'm saying about some people are bitter. They get out of the marriage and they go, I changed myself for that person.
Right.
Right. Their narrative becomes.
That's the problem.
You know what I mean?
That's a different reason. I'm just talking about the regular shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like, I don't feel that way. Like all the issues I had with my ex-wife, I don't feel that way. I feel like it's time wasted. I could say that.
Yeah.
Like I spent a good part of my youth with her and it didn't work out. So I feel like that, but I don't feel like I changed myself for her. I changed according to what was needed for the relationship as a man and as a father.
Okay, then.
I'll never regret that.
When I became a man, I put childish things away.
That's what it is.
Come on now.
Right? So, I think you have to rediscover that and I don't know, like that's the journey.
I got you on a detour. Here's what you were saying.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just a journey. Like it gets complex. So then your question was,
I asked you two questions.
Right.
My very first question I asked you was, Dad, we done jumped all through the hoop, went through the hoop and back.
Right.
What advice do you have for people who are recently out of a relationship?
Okay, that part. So you got to find yourself first, right? Because you're undoing everything I just said. You're undoing all that, right? And you're rediscovering yourself. So for me, that took a year. I left my marriage. I was clean a year. I tried to go on a couple of dates and realized in one way or the other, I was still jaded. Right?
That sounds jaded.
So I was like, so you can push that onto somebody else because that's all you're going to do. Then all of a sudden you got all these rules and shit. Like I remember I started seeing that when I was on the dating apps and stuff, girls would be like, well, like, what would they say? Something like, if you still friends with your baby mama, then we can't date. And that'd be because the last time she dated somebody, he was really cool with his baby mama.
Probably was sleeping with her.
And then that's what she thought, whether it was true or not or whatever. So they think that's how it is every time. Right. So people start coming up with these rules of things that they didn't mentally deal with. And they just create a rule and think they don't have to deal with those things anymore. Now realize you kind of out of pocket. You need to not approach everybody with that energy that didn't do that to you. Right. Mm-hmm. So you got to do a lot of self-healing, figure out who you are, figure out what makes you happy, make yourself happy before you can go. Because what do you have to offer? So that's what I would do. It took me a year, before I would go jumping back into a relationship.
Oh, yeah. I like you just said it. What do you have to offer? Because at some point it goes from not what I have to offer, but what can somebody give me?
Right. What do you have to offer?
And that's a bad place to be. The worst thing. In
today's culture, it's a hookup culture, right? So you everyone thinks they're the best at that. So oh man, I'm cute. And then I handle my business. So of course somebody's going to want me. Yeah. The problem with a relationship is at some point, that's normal shit. That's hot for a little while. And then that's going to be normal shit. And then you're going to offer what to this person?
Nothing. That's what I'm saying. A giver can't be with a taker.
Right.
It can't be. Because a giver don't mind giving and a taker don't mind taking.
Right.
And I ain't just talking about money. I'm saying your time, your effort.
What happened when you on low though? What happens when you ain't got enough to give the taker?
And the taker still gonna want to take.
Taker's like, come on, I need what I need.
It.
Right?
That's the work. And so you just gotta find I know it takes a while.
It takes a while.
And another question I have for you, can it be done in under a year? You think somebody can heal
It depends.
Or how much time you spend.
I don't think there's a time limit on how long it takes to have a serious relationship or get married or any of it. It's how much time and effort you put in. For instance, like Jen and I, we were just talking to the efficient about that, about our story. One of the reasons I think if we didn't meet when we met and spent as much time as we spent together, I think it would have took us a whole additional year before we got close. But because we met in the heart of COVID, things weren't open. We didn't feel, and when things were open, we didn't really quite feel comfortable going to a lot of places. So we spent our time right away. Our first date was open air, restaurant outside on the patio, Taco Tuesday, right?
Fire.
So the only exposure was me to her, right? We felt comfortable with that. Second time was at her house a couple weeks later. She cooked dinner. We did that. From then on, the third date was we went on a hike, right? That's 3 days right there. And after that, it was like, we'd meet somewhere, we'd go somewhere. I come to her house. We didn't turn on the TV for over 8 months. We spent the whole time talking. We would cook together, sit on the couch, talk, never turn on the TV. And so by the time 8 months went by, we really knew each other. So at that point, we were like we felt pretty comfortable. You know what I mean? And that's when we even introduced the kids. It was 8 months down the road. So, in a regular capacity, you're going out on dates, you're sitting in the movie for 2 hours, like you're spending time with that person, you're sitting next to them, you're not talking because you're watching the movie, right? Then you go to dinner and then you talk, but then like you're kind of not, and then you're doing like it's in spurts, so it takes so much longer, and no life is happening, right? We're in the middle of a world crisis, you know what I mean? And like real life is happening. I always say you never really know anyone until real life happens in your relationship, and this is the sort of things that drive people to people. So, if you're with somebody and they lose a family member or friend and you got to go through the funeral process with them or the grieving process or whatever,
boy. Like
those things will probably drive you closer to your person.
Yeah.
Someone gets sick, something like that, those sorts of things become milestones in your relationship.
100%.
So I don't think you could put like a timeline on like, is that too soon or whatever? You got to do the work.
It's what it was.
It is what it is. Yeah. I think there's some people that would think that have kids, that have a blended family, 8 months is too soon. But we did it in 8 months. That's when we decided like we were unbreakable.
Yeah, but while you were saying that whole talking thing, and then you made the point about, how couples go to the movies, honestly, because it's lust at the beginning.
Yeah.
You're so infatuated with that person's look and, their persona.
Yeah.
And their
perfume, their cologne. Being next to them is an honor for you, right?
It's also.
You both are getting off on that.
It's also surface level, and you can do surface level stuff for a long time. You can do surface level. Like you saying that, I'm like, hey, I ain't never.
Yeah.
Like
Sex can be surface level.
I never thought about it.
Yeah.
Like that though.
Yeah.
Like it's so surface level. And if you want to do surface level, that's where we disconnect. Let me go ahead and say that now. That's low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
That's low hanging fruit, bro.
Yeah. That's easy.
You gotta
those people that have that in their head. I don't really think this, but like people that have it in their head that sex is easy. That's because they've been having surface level sex.
It's so, bro. It's
because sex fruit should be deep, right? That should be like.
That's what she said. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Hey. I'm sorry.
Hey, breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. No,
this is the Raisin Bar podcast.
Good night, everybody. No, but like there should be a true connection, right? Especially when you're being intimate with someone on any level, it should really be, this exchange, it's a very powerful exchange, right? Like we use it as a bookend now. Oh, we went on a date. We like each other. Okay. Let's go see what that's like. Right? Rather than like,
chill, bro. Chill. Yeah, you cooking right now. Hey, It's hot in here. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. Like, you could. The amazing thing about life is you could do it. You cook it out however you want. You do whatever you want. You can mix it up. Some things are surface level. If you and her on that vibe and like, this is not as important for me as this over here, you can mix that up and it becomes what it is. And that became important for me and Jen to really sit and define, what does a relationship look like? All right, we did all the shits before. This is not new. We're going to go out. We like each other at some point. I'm coming to your house. You coming to my house. Something probably going to happen unless you don't want to, right? I mean, it wasn't that black and white, but it kind of was. Right. And so we just talked about it. What do you want? Fuck you want?
You know what's crazy? The vast majority of people don't know what they want.
You don't.
But they never thought about it.
But we didn't either. Bro.
You saying you and Jen?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because we just knew that at that point,
both floating.
At that point, we had both did our time. She did her time by herself. I did my time by myself. Things had finally calmed down enough. And then we were like both available to like date. So there we go on a dating site. Oh, he's cute. She's cute. Oh, want to hang out? Yeah, let's talk. That's what it was. Then we go out. Things go really, really well. We go out again. Things go really, really well. And it was like, hey, so, I know we said we kind of just wanted to be friends and see where things go, but, kind of feeling you, and she was like, oh, I'm just coming off this marriage. I'm a year out from this divorce, whatever. Like, I don't really know where I'm at. Okay. Well, like, I understand. I know what that means. If you feel like you really need to like move around and figure out who you are, then I'm gonna have to like bid you adieu because I'm kind of feeling you. And I know I'm not going to behave. If I know you like seeing other people.
That's not fair. You weren't playing fair.
I wasn't, but that wasn't about to be fair to me. So I had to tell her where I was at. And she was like, oh, fuck. Like, you can ask her, you know what I mean?
Ball in your court, 10 seconds left.
I was like, you let me know. We could take a timeout.
No, oh, yeah, you got one timeout.
Yeah, you got one timeout left, 30 seconds. We're going to go to commercial break. Come on back. And she came back and she was like, let's see what happens.
At the buzzer.
Right? So she handled it. Yeah, let's try this out. Let's see what this is. But let's have this conversation. So I come back over. That was probably one of our longest conversations. I think I get to her house at like 10 a.m. We go on a walk. We come home. We get lunch. And we sit on the couch probably from like 1 o'clock to like 8 p.m. And we just talking about, what does this look like? We have kids. What does this look like? What do we want to do? What does this mean? What's comfortable? Oh, I don't want to feel pressed. I don't want to come home from work and necessarily feel like I need to spend all these hours with you, blah, blah, blah. But I want to naturally be able to do that. Is that where we starting? No, I got shit to do. I got kids. I get off at 5, 6 o'clock. Like, can you just text and say hi? Yeah, that sounds great. We just started talking about it. Half that shit we said wasn't even important. Like, that went out the window. Like, cause then we fell in love and like, but we just needed to know that we both could like control our future.
Well, why do people have such a hard time talking?
Because it's uncomfortable.
But that's like standard communication. You know why?
It should be, but it's not anymore, bro.
You know why I think it is? I think a lot of people just come from marriages. Like, I think a lot of marriages in the past generation, they may have been married for 20, 30 years, but their communication sucked. And then their kids watched their pure communication. They thought that their relationship could survive off of that, but they also don't have the willpower to fight the relationship. So now they're here.
I think it's multi-layered. I think too many of us come from broken relationships. I think too many of us we depend on our phone and texting for communication.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think a lot of us are selfish. I think a lot of us don't know what a healthy relationship looks like
at all. And this communication,
right? And then there's societal pressures for on how relationships look, which isn't really true. And again, for us, we were like, to hell with that. I don't care who looks at my relationship and go, I wouldn't do that. I don't care. And I told her that was important to me. I was like, I don't care. If our relationship works and we only see each other once a week and you're the happiest you could be and I'm the happiest I could be, then let it be that. It's not for anyone else. you know, and that's not that wasn't our situation, but that was an example. Right. So like, just because we're together doesn't mean we gotta do, what does society say a relationship looks like? Oh, you guys are together all the time. No, let's be together all the time if we want to be together all the time. But it's important for her and I, like how you going back to what you said earlier, not to lose ourselves in a relationship. So when it's time for her to go out with her friends, please go have a good time. Unless I need something important, I will not be texting you.
Go.
Right? And she does that for me.
And you know what's funny? We be, in my head, I don't know if you like me, when they do finally go, because they don't always want to go, right? They like to chill, right? I have all this stuff planned in my head what I'm going to do, and I always end up just taking a nap at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she called me, hey, what you doing? Oh, yeah, I just woke up. What? I thought you were going to go see so-so. Oh, no, I was tired to even move around. You having a good time? Oh, yeah. All right, I'll see you when we get home.
Yep.
Click.
Yep.
That's a healthy marriage right there. A healthy relationship.
And I've seen it where people are like, okay, babe, going here next. So-and-so said.
Why are you doing all that?
He's running the play-by-play.
Why are you doing that?
I'm like, you should just brought her with you.
Why are you doing
that? At this point.
They dealing with some things. That's why.
And I get it. Like sometimes trust is broken. Things have happened in your relationship. But if you decide to move forward, you got to be prepared to forget that and move forward. If you can't, you got to address it.
Some people can't, bro.
But if you can't, you got to address it.
Some people can't, bro.
You got to address it.
Nope. I don't want to address it. I just wanted to sit there and linger.
Then I'll wait.
And slowly.
I'll wait. I'll wait.
And let it slowly eat away at the relationship.
At one point, you're going to be like, I'm single again.
I'm single
Or
again.
I'm not happy. I'm about to leave her because you didn't address it.
That's crazy.
It's going to hit. See, that's the thing. That's what we know. That's what we know is that these things that we let linger and we just acquiesce, some things you can let it be, but there's other things you got to figure it out. Yes, you're going to fight about it. You're going to be like, oh, I hate this.
Man, getting your feelings hurt.
Round 1, round 2, round 3, bro. Like it's going to suck.
Getting your feelings hurt is
you're going to say some shit and she going to be like, what the fuck? And then she going to be mad, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Next level.
Like 3 days, she don't want to talk to you.
But choose your heart.
But you're going to be happy you did talk about that because eventually you're going to be like, look, I didn't mean it like that. I really love you. I'm just saying you got to give me some space. I promise I ain't going nowhere.
I don't know. It depends on how much stank they put behind them words. I don't know. Sometimes
that's the respect factor that we just talked about.
Yeah, that stank. Sometimes you get a little stank in there. You're like, oh, you really felt like
stop conversations. We stop conversations. If I say something that's really out of pocket, it's happened before. She's like, I ain't talking to you right now.
Cause you wildin'.
Yeah. And I've done that to her.
You wildin'.
Yeah. She said, I'm like, you ain't talking to me like that. You better hit the reset button. I go my way. She go her way. We come back. I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry that happened too. I love you.
Love you too.
You want to talk? Yeah, let's talk. No.
Still don't want to talk yet, but I love you.
I'm going to say yeah. But yeah, no, like seriously, right? Like it takes practice and you got to put down your like you can't come into a marriage with an ego.
Yeah, you just said it. You said it.
Are you a crime boss or are you a husband?
Yeah.
You can't be both. Well, I guess you could.
You could.
I'm not.
Yeah, you about to say you could now.
You could. Yeah.
It's very interesting. I think I want to kind of wrap this thing up. You know, I got one more question for you. You know, what would you say is the hardest thing? I ain't gonna say. I'm gonna be careful how I say this, how I word this question. What is the most challenging thing about sharing your life with another person?
Oh,
I'm not saying difficult. I'm not saying hard, but what is most challenging? Because I already know what my answer is.
It's going to sound weird, bro. Like, but what's coming to my brain and maybe I'd have to revisit that question some other day.
That's a good one.
But it's remembering, because it's funny because I don't struggle with this. And when I say it, you're gonna be like, what do you mean? But remembering that it's 100% okay to be 100% myself at all times with her.
No, I felt that. Nah, I felt that.
Although I know it, and like that's how I live my life. Like I'm not fake for nobody.
Nah,
but like that time where I think, oh, I'm not about to say this thing. It's not that I'm not going to say it. It's that I'm going to be tactful and respectful to my woman when I say it, but I can say it. You know what I mean? Like, and she's not going to judge me for it. She's not going to leave me for it. She may have questions. You know what I mean? But I can, that's my woman. She's not going to go nowhere. I can be me. If I want to walk around with knee-high socks all day, she can be like, that motherfucker walk around with knee-high socks all day.
And that's my dog.
And that's my guy. Yeah. Right? Like whatever it is, right? Like whatever your weird is, we all got a weird something. You know, she eats her chicken with mayonnaise. Sorry, baby, I love you. I shouldn't have with you.
I don't put lotion on after I shower.
You don't?
Nah, summer be on my head.
How? That's so opposite from what everything I would think about you.
Yeah. I don't put lotion on until the next morning.
Wow.
Before I go do anything.
Wow.
And she be on my head.
Wow.
She be like,
I miss the cocoa butter everything all over 2-3 times a day. And like everybody I ever been with, it's always been like, you put so much lotion on.
Listen, you know my thing though.
Yeah.
Look at the skin.
Is it the juices and berries bath that you take or what?
I'm telling you. I'm not lying.
That's so.
So when she say something,
there's so many racial jokes I can tell right now.
Yo, bro, trust me, I know. She be getting on me,
right?
But I be like, the skin is glistening, baby.
Oh shit!
She be like, your skin feel like sandpaper. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, everybody got their weird.
Everybody got their weird, whatever it is. And you know, and some of those things are confidential. You can't talk about it. And I think sometimes, and Jen and I were talking about that. How do I say this tactfully? Somebody she was with previously had a weird thing, and she was like, and that person hit it, right? And that was a problem because it always felt like, oh, this person's not being 100% honest with me. Right. And I felt that way about somebody previous, not my ex-wife, but somebody previous. And then you start to realize that person is not really letting me into their life. So it becomes a wall in your relationship. But when you know you share everything, whatever it is, I don't care if your thing is every time you go outside, you like to like pick up some grass and throw it on your nose. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you do, and
that's what you do,
your person should be able to be like, he's about to pick up the grass and throw it on his nose. That's what he does. I don't know why he does it. That's what he does.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Everybody definitely got their weird.
Right?
That's all I'm going to say.
And you love that person for it. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it is. And when you see him do it, you don't make her feel weird, whatever that is, right?
Feel weird, but I just be like, come on, you gotta stop doing that.
Yeah, like, why do you do that?
Like, yeah.
It almost becomes an inside joke, right?
It is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you celebrate your person.
Cause she be goddamn cracking up. I'll be cracking up too.
Yeah.
Like, you be white.
And like, you gotta do it. Like, no, I'm not. With me and Jenna, it's usually a food thing. I do a food thing and she's like, I don't know why you do that. There's so many weird, like little food things for us. There's other things I won't mention, but like, you know, she don't like to mix, like blend cultures with things. I don't care. Like sometimes it could be simple as like, I have my favorite hot sauce. I put that bitch on everything. And she like
Tapatio?
No, it's not even Tapatio. It's like, you know, I like Cholula. I like Tapatio, but I put those on specific things. Right?
Speak.
I don't even know the name of it. I just know it when I find it in the store.
Salsa Bravo?
No, it's I don't know. It's in a not in a jar. It's in one of those containers.
Man,
I think start with an H.
Hernandez.
Yeah,
Hernandez.
Yeah, they have like a really roasted hot.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah. So usually like I get that and I put that on everything I eat, like almost everything I eat. And she like, that's Asian. You need sriracha. I'm like, don't tell me what to put on my food.
Be quiet, woman. Tell me.
You know, things like that. Like, I will mix shit up with her. I'm going to tell this one because she knows how I feel about it. But she will literally, like, if you give her a taco or a burrito, she will undo it. Mix it up. Mix the ingredients in it up completely. So everything is equally proportioned throughout every bite. I swear to you, bro. She must do it. She will not eat a taco the way it comes with layered with. And I'm like, babe, if you take a big enough bite, you're going to get some of everything. She's like, no, I got to mix it all up.
You're fucking lying.
It's the cutest, funniest thing. But that's a part. That's my baby.
That's too much work.
That's my baby. And I give her a hard time every time she do it.
I'm going to give it a try, though.
I ain't doing it.
I'm going to give it a try.
No, I'm going to eat it just the way the chef served.
I'm going to go to Taco Bell, get 3 crunchy tacos.
Exactly. That's what she do.
Dump them all out on a plate.
Yeah. No, she just get a fork and she just stir it around.
Inside the taco?
Yeah. She just kind of, she like lightly spreads it and just, she do that and she put the sour cream in there if it got sour cream, whatever. And she just mix it all up with the hot sauce. So it's just equal proportion, everything through every bite.
All bites the same, though.
Yeah, every bite the same.
I kind of understand that, though. As a man who hates when my last bite is just sour cream.
Yeah.
I understand that.
See? I strategically take my bites to make sure that don't happen. I look at
that's how Summer is.
I look at both sides of the taco. I'm like, I'm eating this side first.
Summer usually say like a corner and a middle piece.
Yeah. And you take a bigger bite so you get a little bit of everything at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how she eat her like sandwiches.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah, that's why. Well, I'm any housekeeping notes? For the pod, for the people?
No, nothing new. Ain't nothing new. We still, we gonna eventually.
The wedding coming up.
The wedding coming up.
That's why this is what this recording was here for.
Yeah, that's what this one's for.
This is the pre-bachelor party recording.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
The pre-bachelor party recording. So we're gonna come back next week with the
post.
With the post and the results.
Yeah.
Of how it went. And we're gonna be fully transparent.
Okay.
With what transpired.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Raising the Bar with Ra and Travay. If you like what you heard, do us a favor and share the podcast with a friend. Don't forget to like and subscribe to podcasts also. New episodes every Wednesday. You can leave us a comment on the episodes where you stream them on Instagram at rtb.podcast or send us a direct email at rtb.podcast25@gmail.com. That's rtb.podcast, 25 @gmail.com. See you next week.